Let's talk about one of our most watched and commented on videos to date, how to bid commercial cleaning accounts. Hey, it's Matt, and in this video I will answer many of the questions and address some of the comments about how to come up with your overhead expenses, how to determine profit margins, and how to handle unproductive time. As recently as last week, I was asked, is this a commodity business? And my answer is always, only if you make it one. We can't dive into pricing and profitability without first acknowledging that we actually do know what it costs to do the work that we perform. We know what we want to make, we just are afraid to demand that price. Value in service starts with understanding and being able to explain your costs to a client. The alternative is to be the low price leader. Knowing your costs and your profit margins makes you valuable. By now, all of you have watched our How to Bid Commercial Cleaning Jobs video, and if you haven't, that is the next video to watch. In that video, you will find the formula for bidding. That's valuable, yes, but this video will help you to determine what numbers should go into it. If you haven't watched that video, stay with me. You can head over there right after this. Bidding jobs is a combination of production rates, labor costs, material costs, back office expenses, and other overhead costs, plus your profit. It sounds easy enough, but we all struggle with it. I'm not mystified. It is hard. I also want to be clear that we are only providing you with the starting point, and the hard work you need to do. Let's get technical and break it all down. Before we do, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that like button if you're a commercial cleaner looking to grow your business. Number one, what is your average cleaning production rate per person? You can find production rates from ISSA. That is a great starting point, but to be successful, you need to test your own production rates for the work and be able to train people to meet them. What is your average or blended hourly cost for employees? Each area of the country has a minimum wage, so look there first. Next, you have to understand what the actual minimum wage is for your area for this type of work. One great way to find this is on Indeed. Looking at competitors' starting wage and or scale of wage will give you a good idea. Consider the positions that you're going to hire for as well. Part of your blended rate should be crew members and leads. If you're really looking to stretch out the numbers, consider your supervisor's wages too. What is your cost for payroll service and taxes? All companies should employ a payroll service. Each service will charge fees. Get a quote from a few of them. You can also calculate your employer tax burden based on estimated payroll. You can find the average employer tax burden online. To learn more about this section, check out episode 9 of the OctaClean podcast, where Greg and I go into more detail.
They're not that expensive. They're not. I mean, ClockShark is very affordable. ClockShark is very, very affordable.
What is your cost for workers' compensation insurance? It is presented to you by your insurer as a percentage per dollar paid to an employee. The percentages will vary based on classifications, sometimes greatly so be sure to classify your employees properly. Are you paying benefits to your employees? If so, what are you required to pay? Visit your State Department of Industrial Relations website to determine what the requirements are. What has been your turnover rate historically? This is not a cost that most people consider, but if your churn rate is high, it is expensive. Obviously, it should be your goal to reduce churn, hence reducing costs and making yourself more competitive. What is your historical overtime cost? This is a cost that you also want to keep low and is often a symptom of high churn rates, poor recruiting, onboarding, and training processes. What are the costs for product, equipment, and materials by location? Most cleaning companies have gotten this down to a percentage of cost for an account. We equate approximately 5% of the total contract cost. Yes, this will include the initial equipment purchase for an account and the replenishment cost for a 1-year agreement. Cost for consumables. Most customers will provide paper goods, soap, and liners for you. If they don't, message us and we can discuss offline how to work this out. Your overhead expenses. This includes but is not limited to office rent, transportation costs, back office expense, liability insurance, and bond. I want to spend a few moments unpacking this section. Transportation costs should include fuel, maintenance costs, lease payments, and insurance costs. Office rent should also be a combination of rent, utilities, insurance, and maintenance costs. Your back office expenses are related to accounting, bookkeeping, legal, customer service, and account management. Whether you do this yourself or you outsource some of it, you have these expenses or should be budgeting for them. Your desired profit. That's right, your profit is last because you are only able to ask for what you are worth. If you've not worked on the items that we've already discussed, you'll be always scratching your head or pointing fingers at others saying that calculation is wrong or that isn't enough money. Too often what happens is you will cut corners or to make money, or you'll raise prices to what you think is appropriate and never win bids and blame everyone for that, or just quit. It's important that you understand that business is what you chose and the trade is cleaning. You must be good at business to demand a profit. Our job as business owners is to control our expenses as much as possible so we can be competitive and make our margins. Whining about not making enough money is a you problem if you are not controlling costs, training your employees, supervising your jobs, and reducing workplace injuries. Bidding jobs should be the easy part. Running a business truly is the hard part. I also want to add a little disclaimer here that your business expenses will fluctuate and change as you grow. The smaller you are, the less your actual expenses will be because you're performing the majority of the duties that we discussed. As you grow, you can't do it all yourself, so you have to outsource, hire, or both. That means that your expenses are going to rise, and if you price jobs at the I do it myself rate, you're going to immediately lose money when you start to scale. I have seen this hundreds of times. Heck, I have lived it. Plan ahead and recognize the possible costs associated with performing these duties now and as you grow. When you do this, you will bid jobs correctly now and will still have profit when you start to scale. You may also wonder how large organizations can bid so low when you can't. Well, they control their costs and have hit a critical mass with their overhead expenses. They can take more and more business on with the same predictable expense for overhead. We all strive for this reality, but for now, plan ahead and complete your calculations. As promised, this would be a full video on how to get your numbers right. Now it's up to you to make it happen. Check out the description of this video for the link to watch how to bid commercial cleaning jobs. If you're serious about growing your business, become a YouTube member today. For only $5 a month, you gain access to live videos where we discuss important topics in detail and answer questions from our viewers in real time. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.